Okay, I'm going to record this video in 1440p. For some reason, every time I upload my videos from my camera, my Sony camera, 24 megapixels to 4K 60, YouTube is just, it takes 2 to 3 days for them to process it. So I'm just going to stick with 1440p until YouTube fixes this issue. I don't want you guys to be watching 360p videos all the time. Okay. All right, the whole point of this video is a message that I got from my friend, John Crowe, on Twitter. And there were this guy on the Twitter named Evil Boris HDR. Evil Boris HDR, that's his name. He actually has a recommendation on how to fix your HDR. He specifies on HDR only, so he knows HDR really well. So he gave a couple of tips for me, well, for him, which John Crowe recommended to me to try and use on the HDR sliders. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you step by step as to what Evil Boris HDR has recommended on his Twitter page. So I have to give his name. I have to give him a shout out because he's the one that actually recommended this. This is his credit, his work. So I have to give a credit to him. It's not my credit. It's his credit. So I have to mention him, and I have to mention John Crowe. Anyway, let me show you what sliders, what HDR slider settings he's recommending for us to use. All right, so what we're going to do, this is the PlayStation 4 Pro version. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the menu, and we're going to go to the options. Go to the options, and then we're going to go to the display. We're going to click on the display. We're going to go to the brightness HDR. We're going to click on the brightness HDR that's right there. Highlight it. We're going to click on it. Now, there's two different things that he mentioned here. Okay. There is the brightness HDR slider, and then there is the red and blue scale slider. So there's two different sliders. Now with this slider, with the brightness slider, he said he recommends that the brightness scale is to be maxed out. So the brightness scale needs to be maxed out. This is what he said. So keep the brightness HDR max brightness HDR scale to the maximum. So maximum brightness HDR scale, keep it all the way to the maximum right there. Now once you are done with that and you have selected it all the way to the brighter maximum, the next thing he says, make sure to set red and blue scale all the way toward the dark, not red. So what he means is he wants you to go all the way down to the dark and not red. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to try this. Let's see how it looks. So remember, your red and blue scale needs to be all the way to the dark. And your max brightness HDR needs to be all the way to the maximum brighter. So just make sure that your max brightness HDR is set to the high. And then your red and blue scale all the way to the dark. So move it all the way to the dark. Hopefully you guys will pause the video and rewind the video and write this stuff down. Now let's check it out. Let's see what the difference is. Now the one more thing I need to do is I need to fix my brightness. I need to move my brightness to 0, default 0 right there. Okay, so what we're going to do we're going to go ahead and we're gonna jump into the game. Let's see how it looks. Now when you finish, you just have to exit out of this, and it's going to save your settings automatically. You see it's saving it right now. And we're going to return to the game. And oh yeah, this is much better, dude. This is much better. You get to see the HDR detail much better here. Oh yeah, this is much better, dude. I'm liking it, actually. This is good. This is good. This is actually pretty good. Not bad. Especially here where there's a light. Especially here in a light. This is a very natural HDR. Remember, the whole idea of HDR is not to have like some ridiculous peak brightness to be blasted into your face. The idea of HDR is to have a really natural look to the picture. And I think that's what you're getting here. You're getting a really natural HDR. Again, my camera here cannot depict the HDR. You know, you can't see HDR through a camera lens because the camera lens cannot depict the HDR. Okay? The reason I'm doing this video is because I want you guys to see and try these settings for yourself. Again, I want to give a credit to my friend John Crowe. And I also want to give credit to Evil Boris HDR. I will leave the Twitter link for both of them, and for John Crowe and Evil Boris. I'm sorry if I'm talking through my nose. I'm just, man, this winter, I hate winter. The flu and all this other garbage. You know, it's just, I caught some bullshit flu. But that will not stop me from doing a PC comparison versus Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, I'm a trooper. The flu's not going to stop Mr. 4K. All right, well, this is 1440p video. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, guys. There's just, for some reason, YouTube cannot handle the HECV high H.264 high bitrate video on my 4K 60 24 megapixel camera that I'm using. Okay, I'm not recording with my Sony camera right now. I'm using my Note 9 right now, but on my previous video with the 4K 60 FPS, I was using my Sony camera. Okay, so I don't know what the deal is. I'm still waiting for them to reply to me, to contact me. Getting in touch with Google, man, takes forever. It could take months before they reply to you. But there's no point of me, recording with that kind of bitrate because the YouTube will not process it in 2 to 3 to 4 days. So I'm just going to stick with 1440p, okay? It's better 1440p than 360p, okay? All right, guys, thank you for watching. Have a good one.